आपादमौलिपर्यन्तां गुरूणामाकृतिं स्मरेतेन विघ्नं गणश्यन्ति सिद्धन्ते च मनोरथः लक्ष्मीं तनोतु नितरामितरानपेक्षमङ्घ्रिद्वयं निगमशाखिशिखाप्रवालं हैरम्बमङ्गुरोहडम्बरचौर्यनिग्रहविद्युदादिभीदशतधारधुरन्धरन्नः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः सर्वेषां स्वागतम्. This is the positive psychology session for the 13th shloka. न सत्यकार्योऽपि हि यद्वदध्वरः प्रकाङ्क्षते. So we will actually find that the argument of objection to what Rama is saying, that is the jnana is the only path to liberation, is the objection is getting completed in this verse where prakangshate anyanapi karakadikan. So there is a akanksha of other elements also which are karakadi for the satkaryas. So tathaiva vidya vidhitah prakashitaihi. So the path of jnana is actually illuminated or prakasha. It is brightened up by karma. That is what this particular verse is saying. Here, when we encounter resilience, we have many different concepts of resilience. But here we are only taking the insights that is provided by Sri Rama Gita. So in this, the third part of the component of resilience is being resourceful. What do we mean by resourceful? We have our resources, but we have alternative uses, so we are not sure how to use a resource or what resource should be used for a certain argument. In this context, what happens when we encounter a particular opposition, an obstacle? At that point of time, usually what happens is, when we have the Purva Paksha Vada, the Purva Paksha Khandana, that is the rebuttal, is through the same Drishtanta that Purva Paksha Vada shows. So if there is a mention of the Satkarya, then what happens is that Satkarya itself will be used as a particular Drishtanta illustration to find out the flaw in that particular argument. That is argument as in the opposing argument. So being resourceful is extremely important in resilience, because if somebody has given me an objection, the objection is with respect to some particular area of my argument. There is maybe some problem over there. I cannot make that validity go away. I cannot make that objection go away by trying to bring about the validity of some other part of the argument. It has to be with respect to whatever has been asked or whatever has been quoted. So what happens is, for example, when we are considering let us say shift of hard drive based database to cloud based database. Hard drive, as everybody may have know, there is a physical hardware involved where a chip or SDD or HDD, whatever is the storage space, and that storage space is attached to the computer, PC, whatever laptop, where that storage it acts in that way. Everything is stored in that particular drive. Now, when we are moving towards cloud storage, now what are the key objections to continue using this hardware storage, that is the external drives? That is that it consumes a lot of money, it is not very economical, and it consumes a lot of space, and there are many other different things. Now, when this is the objection, I cannot say that because it is more convenient. This is a pro of using the external hard drives. It is very within an environment, that is within an office environment, it is very easy to access it. It is a little more faster. So these kind of things are the pros. These are the advantages of using an external drive for storage data. for storage of data. Now, what happens is I cannot try to emphasize on my argument, that is to continue with external hard drives by bringing about merits of of the external drives, and try to ignore the negatives that has been stated. The negatives make a very good case for me to shift from external drive based hard data storage to cloud based data storage. So now I have to give them an example of how it is better to stay with an external drive based storage system on the basis of the objections they have stated. They said it is costly, it is pricey. So I have to tell them it cannot be pricey if we do something else. I have to justify that. Then they say it is it is not portable. It takes space. So I have to say no. There are much higher different kinds of external hard disks coming now with the micro SD card. Also, we can expand our memory. So therefore, I need to make the arguments along those lines only, and this requires me to be resourceful. Whatever is the resource I have, I must be able to put it across properly. I must be able to use it in the argument. So not just attaining the information and sitting on it won't help me. Having a particular, it is very important for me to bring across the argument that I'm trying to perpetuate along the lines of the objection. It has to be across that line only. Today, I cannot say Ayurveda is insightful, is better, is scientific without it following the testing methods of the modern science. Whatever is the modern scientific methods of attaining validity, that is testing, clinical testing, or etc., 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 I have to buy to gain the validity. I have to make sure that even Ayurveda must also be tested across these lines to prove that it is better off. I cannot say no, Ayurveda is a separate branch. There is nothing. We don't need to prove ourselves through the established or standardized scientific methods. If we say that, then obviously Ayurveda will be called as pseudoscience, because whatever is the established standardized tests for medical science, if we do not abide by that, if we not prove through that, then obviously it will not be called as a science. Just because we are calling it a science, nobody will accept it as a science. The acceptance will not be there. Therefore, it becomes important that along those lines only we have to justify our stance. And this is important because most of the, even with respect to Sri Rama Gita also, why are we including the concepts of positive psychology? Because positive psychology is the accepted one. It may be a relatively new field, but these concepts are the most standardized ones. And when I talk about resilience, positive emotions, meaning in life, etc., etc., these are the ones that people understand better because it has modern relevancy. Therefore, I need to be resourceful enough to justify Sri Rama Gita through positive psychology. Otherwise, proving that studying Sri Rama Gita or chanting Sri Rama Gita brings about a positive change is very difficult to assess. Therefore, being resourceful is also extremely important to bring about resilience. We need to be resourceful. So that has been showcased in the 13th verse. Actually, it is 11, 12, and 13th. We will see 14th one also. 14th also has the action of resilience. Until now, we are talking about the three concepts involved that brings about resilience, but the actual resilience comes about with another concept called as grit. That is the backing. So that we will see in the 14th shloka. So with this, we end the positive psychology session for the 13th shloka. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः प्रतिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीमहीषा। गोब्राह्मणेभ्यो शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि।